The unraveling truth. Emily Thompson sat in her small, cluttered office, surrounded by stacks of files and a to-do list that seemed to be never-ending. The soft glow of her desk lamp illuminated the room, casting a warm light on the faded mentorship award hanging on the wall. It had been years since she had been recognized for her work, and lately she couldn't shake the feeling that she was failing her clients. Each file represented a person counting on her to uncover the truth, but lately the truth seemed to be slipping further out of reach. Emily was a private investigator, a profession she had pursued with passion and zeal. She had always been drawn to the stories behind the cases she worked on, believing that everyone deserved to have their voice heard and their truths uncovered. But as the months passed, the weight of her responsibilities felt heavier. The thrill that once fueled her had been replaced by a pervasive sense of doubt. Had she lost her edge? Were her skills still sharp enough to tackle the complex cases that came her way? The walls of her office felt like they were closing in on her, each file a reminder of the clients she had yet to help. Some days she felt like a ghost, haunting her own life. The thrill of solving a case had been replaced by an overwhelming sense of inadequacy. The ringing phone was a reminder that she was still in demand, yet she hesitated to answer, fearing the voice on the other end might ask for something she couldn't provide. One rainy morning, as the sound of raindrops tapped gently on the window, Emily received a letter that would change everything. The envelope was plain, with her name written in elegant script across the front. It stood out against the clutter of her desk, beckoning her to open it. Inside, she found a letter from a wealthy and enigmatic businessman named Henry Blackwell, requesting her presence at his estate to solve a decades-old mystery that had haunted his family. The chance to work on a high-profile case with unlimited resources was exactly what Emily needed to prove to herself that she still had what it takes. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, she packed a bag and set off to meet her new client. As she drove through the rain-soaked streets, her mind raced with possibilities. What could this mystery entail? What secrets lay hidden behind the grand facade of Blackwell Manor? Little did she know, a dark and twisted secret awaited her, one that would test her limits and challenge everything she believed about justice. Upon arriving at Blackwell Manor, Emily was struck by its imposing presence. The sprawling estate was a blend of classic architecture and modern opulence, surrounded by meticulously manicured gardens that seemed to whisper secrets of their own. She was greeted at the entrance by Henry Blackwell himself, a tall man with salt and pepper hair and piercing blue eyes that seemed to hold a lifetime of secrets. He exuded authority, but also an air of vulnerability that intrigued her. "Thank you for coming, Miss Thompson," he said, his voice deep and measured. "I've heard great things about your work. My family's legacy depends on this case." Emily felt a flutter of nerves as she stepped into the grand foyer, the lavish surroundings contrasting sharply with the modesty of her own office. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, casting prismatic patterns on the marble floor. Henry led her through the opulent rooms, each filled with portraits of stern ancestors watching over them. It was a place steeped in history, and Emily could sense the weight of expectations bearing down on her. As they walked, Henry explained the details of the mystery. Decades ago, a priceless family heirloom, a diamond necklace, had vanished under mysterious circumstances during a lavish party. The incident had shattered the family's reputation, and since then, the Blackwells had been plagued by misfortune. Henry believed that uncovering the truth behind the necklace's disappearance could restore his family's honor and lift the dark cloud that had lingered over them for years. Emily listened intently, her investigative instincts kicking in. "What can you tell me about the night it disappeared?" she asked, eager for details. Henry hesitated, his brow furrowing as he recalled the events. "It was a grand affair filled with influential guests. The necklace had been worn by my grandmother, a symbol of our family's legacy. During the party, it was last seen in her possession, but by the end of the night, it was gone. There were whispers of betrayal and deceit, but no one ever found the truth." The further they delved into the case, the more Emily felt a connection to the Blackwell family's plight. She understood the importance of uncovering the truth, not just for the family's sake, but for her redemption. Over the next few weeks, Emily dived headfirst into the investigation, following every lead and interviewing family members and staff who had been present that fateful night. She quickly realized that the Blackwell family was steeped in layers of complexity and hidden emotions, each member holding secrets that intertwined with the mystery of the missing necklace. One afternoon, while sifting through dusty archives in the estate's library, Emily stumbled upon a photograph that caught her eye. It was an image of Henry's grandmother wearing the necklace, surrounded by family members. As she examined the faces in the picture, something struck her as odd. One of the men in the photograph bore a striking resemblance to a man she had seen in a local news article about a recent burglary. Intrigued, she decided to pursue this lead further. As the weeks passed, Emily found herself enveloped in the case, her determination growing stronger with each discovery. She uncovered family feuds, hidden romances, and long-buried resentments that seemed to fuel the mystery. Yet, amidst her progress, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. Shadowy figures lurked in the corners of her mind as she pieced together the web of deceit surrounding the Blackwell family. One evening, after a long day of interviews, Emily returned to her office to find a chilling note slipped under her door. "Stop digging or else," it read in jagged handwriting. The threat sent shivers down her spine, but instead of retreating, it ignited a fire within her. She had come too far to back down now. Determined to press on, Emily sought help from her close friend Mia, a tech-savvy journalist who had always been her confidant. "I need your expertise," Emily said, urgency lacing her voice. "I've received threats, and I think someone is trying to intimidate me into dropping the case." Mia's brow furrowed with concern as she listened to Emily's account. "We need to be careful. This isn't just about a necklace. It's about a family's legacy. If people are willing to threaten you, they'll do anything to protect their secrets." With Mia's help, they began to dig deeper into the Blackwell family's history. They uncovered a series of scandals that had been swept under the rug, each one more shocking than the last. As they pieced together the puzzle, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose. This case wasn't just about the necklace. It was about justice for those who had been wronged for far too long. As Emily continued her investigation, she encountered Henry's sister, Clara, who had always been on the fringes of family gatherings. Clara was an artist, often lost in her world, yet Emily sensed a depth to her that was yearning to be expressed. One afternoon, Clara invited Emily to her studio, a small space filled with vibrant canvases and scattered paintbrushes. "I've always felt like an outsider in my own family," Clara confessed, her eyes reflecting a mix of sadness and defiance. "They see me as the crazy artist, but I've spent years searching for the truth about the necklace too. I believe it holds the key to our family's redemption." Emily felt a surge of empathy for Clara. Here was a woman who had been overshadowed by her family's expectations, yet her passion for uncovering the truth matched Emily's own. "What do you know?" Emily asked, eager to hear Clara's perspective. Clara hesitated, glancing around as if the walls could listen. "I've heard whispers of a family member who was present that night, someone who had a motive to steal the necklace. I don't know if it's true, but I've seen old letters that suggest a betrayal within the family." With Clara's insight, Emily felt a renewed sense of determination. They began to work together, sharing information and piecing together the fragments of their family's history. The more they uncovered, the more they realized how intertwined their lives had become, both seeking the truth in a world filled with shadows. As the investigation progressed, Emily faced mounting pressure. She received more threatening messages, and her office was broken into again. This time, they left a clear warning. "Drop the case, or you'll regret it." Emily's heart raced with fear, but she knew she couldn't back down. One night, as she sat in her office poring over documents, she received a call from Henry. His voice was strained, a mixture of anger and desperation. "Emily, you need to stop this. You're jeopardizing everything we've worked for. Some secrets are better left buried. Henry, you can't just sweep this under the rug. Your family deserves the truth, no matter how painful it may be," Emily replied, her voice steady. The weight of his words hung heavy in the air, but she wouldn't let fear dictate her actions. With a renewed sense of purpose, Emily crafted a plan. She decided to confront Henry directly, to challenge him to face the truth about his family's past. but she knew she couldn't do it alone. She needed Mia and Clara by her side. On the day of the confrontation, the tension was palpable. Emily, Mia, and Clara arrived at Blackwell Manor, their hearts pounding with anticipation. As they entered the grand foyer, the opulence of the estate only heightened their resolve. They had come too far to turn back now. "Henry," Emily said, her voice steady as she faced him, "we need to talk." Henry's expression was a mixture of disbelief and anger. "What more do you want from me? I've told you everything I know." "No, you haven't," Clara interjected, stepping forward. "You've hidden the truth for too long. It's time to face what happened that night." The confrontation escalated, emotions running high as they aired their grievances. Emily laid out her findings, detailing the connections between family members and the motives behind the theft. The room crackled with tension as Henry's facade began to crack. "What do you think you can accomplish by digging up the past?" he shouted, frustration evident in his voice. "You'll ruin everything." "No, Henry, we're trying to save it," Emily replied, her determination unwavering. "Your family deserves the chance to heal, but it starts with honesty." Just as Emily finished her statement, the atmosphere shifted. An unexpected figure stepped forward from the shadows, the true mastermind behind the deception, a family member long thought lost to the past. The revelation sent shockwaves through the room, and Emily's heart raced as she realized the danger that now loomed before them. "Surprised to see me?" the figure said, a sly grin spreading across their face. It was Victor, Henry's estranged brother, whose existence had been shrouded in mystery for years. "I've always been in the background, watching, waiting for the right moment to reclaim what's mine." The confrontation escalated into chaos as Victor attempted to manipulate the others, playing on their fears and insecurities. He revealed his knowledge of the family's dark secrets, threatening to expose them if they didn't comply with his demands. At that moment, Emily knew she had to act quickly. She rallied Clara and Mia, urging them to stand together against Victor's manipulation. "We can't let him tear us apart. We need to confront the truth, not hide from it." With a combination of quick thinking and courage, they devised a plan to outsmart Victor. As the confrontation escalated, they used the evidence they had gathered to turn the tables on him. Emily confronted Victor with the truth, exposing his ulterior motives and revealing the web of lies he had spun throughout their family. The tension in the room reached a breaking point, and as Victor's facade crumbled, the truth began to emerge. The necklace wasn't just a piece of jewelry. It was a symbol of the family's betrayal, greed, and the lengths they would go to protect their secrets. In a heart-pounding finale, Emily faced off against those who had tried to stop her, using her intelligence and quick thinking to outmaneuver them at every turn. The confrontation escalated, and she felt adrenaline coursing through her veins. With Mia and Clara at her side, they managed to outsmart Victor, exposing his true motives and illuminating the web of lies that had ensnared the Blackwell family for decades. With the truth exposed and the guilty parties held accountable, Emily emerged victorious. She felt a sense of vindication wash over her, stronger than she had ever been before. The weight that had been pressing down on her shoulders for so long finally began to lift. Back in her office, as she looked out at the city skyline, she knew that she had found her true calling once again. The faded mentorship award on the wall seemed to sparkle with new light, a symbol of the resilience and dedication that had carried her through the darkest of times. With a renewed sense of purpose and a fire ignited within her, Emily vowed to never give up on seeking justice for those who could not seek it for themselves. As she closed the door to her office for the night, she felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over her, knowing that she had truly saved the day. The challenges she had faced had only strengthened her resolve, and she was ready for whatever came next. Emily Thompson was back, and this time, she would not let anything hold her back. In the weeks that followed, Emily continued to work with the Blackwell family, helping them rebuild their reputation and mend their relationships. The case had transformed her, not just as an investigator, but as a person. She had learned the importance of resilience, the power of truth, and the value of connections with others. Clara, inspired by their journey, began to share her art more openly, using her creativity to tell stories of her family's history and the truths they had uncovered. Emily often visited her studio, encouraging her to embrace her talent and express herself fully. Mia, on the other hand, dove into her work as a journalist, eager to share the story of the Blackwell family's redemption and the lessons learned from their struggles. Their collaboration blossomed into a strong partnership, one that combined Emily's investigative skills with Mia's storytelling prowess. As they worked together, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose. She realized that her journey was far from over. There were still countless stories to uncover, lives to change, and truths to bring to light. Each case was a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of seeking justice for those who felt voiceless. One evening, as Emily reflected on her journey, she received a call from a potential client, a woman seeking help with a troubling situation. As she listened to the woman's story, Emily felt a familiar spark ignite within her. This was what she was meant to do, to advocate for those in need, to uncover the truth, and to bring light to the darkness. With renewed determination, Emily accepted the case, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that the road would not always be easy, but she was armed with the knowledge that she had the strength to overcome any obstacle. As she closed the door to her office that night, Emily felt a sense of excitement wash over her. The future was bright, and she was ready to embrace it. With the support of her friends and the lessons she had learned, she would continue to seek justice, uncover the truth, and inspire others to do the same. In the heart of the city, Emily Thompson had found her purpose once more. With each new case, she would carry the lessons of the past with her, ensuring that she would never forget the importance of resilience, courage, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Disclaimer: this work of fiction is a product of the author's imagination and is not intended to depict actual events or real individuals. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
I walked through storms that had no end. I spoke to silence like a friend. The world forgot, but I remained. A name unspoken, still unchanged. Breathe in the fire, don't run away. Your heart's a drum, the dark can't play. Built from ruin, shaped by stars, we rise like echoes chasing stars. No light is lost, just waiting near. Your soul's a storm that'll learn to fear. The world forgot, but I remain. A name unspoken, still unchanged. Breathe in the fire, don't run away. Your heart's a drum, the dark can't play. Built from ruin, shaped by stars, we rise like echoes chasing stars. No light is lost, just waiting near. Your soul's a storm that learn to fear. No light is lost, just waiting near. Your soul's a storm that'll learn to fear. Breathe in the fire, don't run away. Your heart's a drum, the dark can't play. Built from ruin, shaped by stars, we rise like echoes chasing stars. No light is lost, just waiting near. Your soul's a storm that learn to fear. Lost, just waiting near. Your soul's a storm they'll learn to fear.